So, you just found out your child is being bullied. It's a gut punch, right? Your first instinct is probably pure emotion. But what this situation really calls for is a clear, precise strategy. Okay, let's dive into this action plan. It's designed to help you protect your child with poise and, most importantly, with power.
And this right here, it's the absolute truth. Sure, schools and teachers, they have a role to play, but you can't just outsource your child's safety. You are their primary shield. You're their #1 advocate in a world that can be pretty tough. Look, reacting emotionally, it's just not enough. You need a real strategy. So think of this explainer as your roadmap. We're going to break down exactly what to do step by step, so you can handle this whole thing with precision and with strength. Let's get right into it.
Before you even think about picking up the phone or firing off an angry email, hold up. Your work begins right there at home. This first phase is all about internal prep. It's about understanding the full picture, directly from your child and through your own careful observation. This really boils down to two critical parts. First, you've got to create an environment where your child feels safe enough to tell you anything, and I mean anything. And second, you have to learn how to read the nonverbal cues they might be sending your way. Now, what's so interesting here is how much this goes against our parental instincts. You want to jump in, pepper them with questions, right? But that can feel like an interrogation. Instead, just be there. Just listen. Let them lead. The moment they feel judged or feel like they're tattling, that wall is going to go right back up. Your job is to create a space where their vulnerability is met with nothing but quiet support. You know, sometimes kids don't just come out and say, "I'm hurting." They use their actions, or maybe their lack of action. So the key here is to pay super close attention to any sudden shifts in their behavior. These aren't just phases. Think of them as distress signals, like little flares they're sending up, hoping that you'll see them. And this really illustrates what to look out for. I mean, is the food they used to love suddenly gross to them? Are they getting those mysterious stomach aches every Sunday night right before the school week starts? Have they suddenly dropped a sport or a club they once couldn't get enough of? These are classic, textbook signs that something is wrong. They're clues that a much deeper battle is going on inside.
All right, so once you have a clearer picture, it's time for external action. Now this is where a lot of parents stumble because they let emotion grab the steering wheel. We're not going to do that. We're going to approach this professionally. Getting this mindset right is, honestly, it's everything. Your goal here isn't to win a fight or to point fingers. Your one and only goal is to stop the behavior and make sure your child is safe. And frankly, the other child too. You have to frame this as a partnership to solve a shared problem.
Just look at the difference here. The approach on the left, confrontation, it's accusatory, it's emotional, and it immediately puts the other parent on the defensive. But the collaborative approach on the right, that's where you want to be. It's concerned, it's factual, and it's all about finding a solution. This keeps you in control and actually makes a resolution possible.
So how do you actually do this? Well, you start with a calm, collaborative tone. You factually state the connection. Our kids are in the same class or on the same team. You describe the behavior you've been told about, not your kid's emotional interpretation of it. And then you say it, out loud. I want to work together on this.
And here is a perfect word-for-word example. An opening like this is so disarming. It's not an attack. It immediately frames the whole conversation as a joint effort. It's calm, it's respectful, and it sets the stage for a productive talk instead of a screaming match.
Okay, the final step in the plan. This is about creating a formal structure around the solution. It's about setting crystal clear boundaries and expectations, making sure this isn't just a one-off conversation, but a real process with a clear end goal in sight.
So, what does this actually look like? Well, first, you clearly state the boundary. The behavior has to stop. Period. Second, you calmly let them know you'll be documenting everything from this point on. Dates, times, specific actions. This is not a threat. It's a signal that you're taking this incredibly seriously. And third, you clearly state your expectation, a professional process that guarantees both kids can coexist safely. Finally, let's talk about the single most important tool you have through all of this. And it's not anger, and it's not a loud voice. It's your composure. You have to remember this. The second you lose your cool, you lose your strategic advantage. By staying calm, factual, and respectful, you stay in a position of power. You're seen as the reasonable parent, the one focused on solutions, and that makes you way more effective.
Look, I get it. It is so uncomfortable to have these conversations. We all worry about being that parent. But the alternative? It's so much worse. Your silence has a cost, a huge one, and it's your child who pays that price, with their peace of mind, with their confidence, and with their fundamental sense of safety.
And that's really the question it all boils down to, isn't it? Is a few minutes of potential awkwardness with another adult worth sacrificing your child's well-being? The answer every single time is no. This isn't about starting a fight. It's about finishing a cycle of pain for your child. It's about being their shield,